Good morning, my name is Jack Martinez. I am a sophomore at NC State, and I'm here today to present my team's proposal for investment in a more comprehensive winter preparedness plan. As many of you well know, snow days like the one pictured above have been infrequent occurrences in NC State's long history. But with growing climate destabilization beginning to take hold in the United States, snow is being more commonly seen in both central and southern United States. So, this proposal is designed to examine NC State's plan for inclement weather and recommend improvements to fertilizer university operations in the face of increased snowfall. As a brief overview, today we intend to work through the main problems caused by snowfall on campus. Then we will review the background details of both issues seen in the past and solutions to these issues. We will address the solution proposal in depth, focusing on the four key elements, and review a realistic timeline and budget for implementation. Finally, we will make implementation recommendations for the Council's review. Because of the risk to commuters, which includes most faculty, NCSU often cancels classes on days of inclement weather. This causes drastic changes to be made to the scheduled curriculum. Loss of direct instructional time due to inclement weather requires professors and students to cover the material separately, or in the case of lab courses and in-person courses, this curriculum is often lost entirely. Students find that their engagement suffers even if the gap is for only one day. Heavy snowfall can accumulate on trees and power lines and rooftops, creating danger to nearby individuals and objects and potentially causing power and internet loss, and dangerous driving conditions on and around campus. This leads to safety concerns on and around campus and interrupts research and campus operations as resources are thinly distributed across campus. Under normal procedures, NC State's policies regarding adverse weather conditions are set up in a multi-tiered response plan. The three tiers being reduced operations, suspended operations, and closure. The various conditions which might prompt these are defined in part in regulation, but are ultimately decisions made up by the Chancellor and the Executive Vice Chancellor or Provost of the university. Typical actions for adverse weather conditions are patterned. In terms of adverse weather, such as snow, ice, and sleet, university mandates have generally fallen between reducing hours of operation and closing in-person classes and research for the days in question. This causes the university to reschedule the missed days, and even in some cases requiring the shift of final examination periods that can lead to major lab and research disruptions. This strategy still leaves many safety gaps, such as ice on campus inhibiting access to dining halls, roads, and other resources on campus for students. The main issues that arise is that the closure of classes requires the schedule of the university to be shifted, or for the curriculum to be lost. In the past, the university has asked students and faculty to make up missed classes on weekends or days near spring break, and even had to cancel lab commitments, as well as familiar social functions, both for the safety of students, faculty, and staff, and has had potential failures in curriculum delivery. Challenging though these might be, we have seen that schools in much harsher winter climates, such as the northeastern United States, have been able to make this work, and we can learn from their investment in resources to strengthen NC State's response to inclement weather. The university could benefit from the increase in weather resources to make the system run smoother. The university also has new experience dealing with displacement from on-campus instruction, as it was switched to online delivery in the spring of 2020. A number of professors commented that the initial switch to online instruction made it more difficult to redesign and deliver the semester's remaining curriculum. But with more than a year and a half of virtual instruction, the university is now more able to perform this online virtual delivery option than in the past. The solution that we propose consists of four main parts. The first and most important is that communication procedures need to be established and communicated well in advance of closure decisions. Faculty should be offered resources for synchronous and asynchronous delivery, but ultimately preparation of online course delivery should be left up to the discretion of the individual instructors. On-campus priorities. Certain courses, such as lab courses and research, have a greater priority and therefore are given de-icing priorities and other on-campus priorities in the event of inclement weather, so that these can be unaffected by inclement weather and don't have to move online. Online course delivery is a suitable option which should be implemented for any professors who are able to. and we recognize the issues that online course delivery may be, especially in the event of inclement weather. So faculty should be expected to record these sessions for their students to review at other times. This combined with additional resources, structurally lenient deadline shifts, and the expectation of these asynchronous recordings would allow distance education to provide a smooth course transition. A number of reports in the past have found that the transition to online delivery methods has seen an increase in cheating and curricular anxiety, but seeing as these negative effects are correlated with long-term online course delivery, this shouldn't affect the implementation of this tool for a short-term solution to adverse weather challenges. Finally, necessary resource allocation. The faster the snow can be cleaned up from campus, the faster the university can continue normal operations. Currently, the City of Raleigh only has funding and resources to clean the publicly owned main roads, which leaves the university to deal with other areas impacted on campus. The university must have additional supplies of salt and brine solution, as well as plow equipment, just for use on campus. This timeline lays out the steps for achieving our proposed solutions. Most of the required resources are already possessed by the university, so the development, approval, and distribution of the procedures is possible by the end of the calendar year. The main milestones will be present resource acquisition and deployment plan by June 2021, prepare instructional guides for faculty in advance of the start of the school year in July, have training resources available by November 1st, also that the university is able to monitor weather forecasting and implement the system if necessary. The main cost associated with the plan is that of the Zoom licensure. The university already leases the necessary licensure, so it is not an additional cost at this time. Plow equipment can be purchased for as little as $1,300, and salt and brine needs to be met in order to maintain campus safety for an additional $1,050. This brings the total associated costs to about $450,000 per year, but there's a mere $2,400 in additional investment that would be added to the university's current budget. In review, the problem our plan chooses to address is that of the loss or derailment of instruction due to inclement weather. We propose addressing this problem with a tiered plan, which consists of communication procedures, on-campus priorities, online course delivery, and necessary resource allocation. The budget for this program incites only a differential cost increase, and we believe that these improvements, if approved by June, can be implemented in advance of our first winter back in person. Thank you.